They say police, they try to stop the guy. He not stop. Now they open fire for him. They open fire, they go deposit the corpse for mortuary. I even reached mortuary just now. A snapper. See the video, that the AK that they shoot up. You know understand? We even call station, try to know what happen. That they open fire, that they shoot tear gas for no reason, so that they disturb all the old boys when they ride motor for Ekpoma. See the person where they shoot. Now be this. See the boy here where they shoot. Now be this. Now gone they take shooter. Chinedu now be 18 years.
We came with nothing and we are going with nothing. In a million lifetimes, if I ever have to come back to Earth again, it would always be you. Thank you for everything. In memory of my beloved mother, rest in the bosom of the Lord Almighty.
The streets of Ekpoma, Edo State, are filled with anger, grief, and an overwhelming demand for justice. A young life has been cut short in a way that has become far too common in Nigeria. Another youth fallen to police brutality. Chinedu Abimbor, an 18-year-old from Ekpoma, was allegedly gunned down by police officers during a security operation on March 12, 2025. What started as routine police stop turned into a tragedy that has shaken the entire community, sparking widespread protest and outrage. According to reports, Chinedu and his younger brother were driving in an unregistered Mercedes-Benz when they were flagged down by a joint security task force around 4:40 p.m. What happened next depends on who you ask. Some say Chinedu hesitated before stopping, and that hesitation was all it took for the officers to open fire, killing him instantly and dragging his younger brother into custody. Others claim that an altercation broke out, during which an officer shot Chinedu's younger brother in the leg. When Chinedu stepped out to demand an explanation, he was shot 3 times in the back. Either way, the outcome was the same. Chinedu lay dead, his blood soaking into the dirt, his life stolen in seconds. The officers dumped his body in the mortuary as if he was nothing more than a statistic, while his younger brother remained in their custody, detained. The mother's anguish. Chinedu's mother narrates her story. I was at home when they told me that the police had taken my 2 sons. I ran to the station, but only found one of them. When I asked about my Chinedu, no one would speak to me. I went back in the morning, desperate to find my son, only to be told he had been taken to the mortuary. Her voice breaks as she asks the question that no mother should ever have to ask. What crime did he commit? That boy was my pillar. My Chinedu never stole, never hurt anyone. Her pain is raw, unbearable, and yet all too familiar in Nigeria. Another innocent young man gunned down, another family shattered, another mother left to bury her child. The people rise, protest in Ekpoma. The injustice could not be ignored. By the next day, the youth of Ekpoma took to the streets. Enraged by the continuous police brutality, they marched to the police headquarters, demanding answers. They carried placards, chanted in unity, and made their way to the palace of the town's traditional ruler, calling for immediate justice. One protester, Lucky Abada, described the horror. They stopped his car, and when he didn't stop immediately, they just shot him and dumped him in the mortuary. I went there, and I saw his corpse. They shot him with an AK-47. Another protester, Ambrose Agbokan, demanded accountability. We want to know why they killed our brother. His younger brother is still in custody. They shot one and arrested the other. What kind of justice is this? But the police response was swift and brutal. Tear gas was fired at the peaceful demonstrators. Officers pushed back against their cries for justice. This is what we face every day in Ekpoma, one protester said. Harassment from the police, killings with no consequences. We are tired. International condemnation and calls for reform. The Edo State Police Command was forced to respond. They acknowledged the involvement of their officers and announced the immediate withdrawal of 3 patrol teams linked to the incident. But for the people of Ekpoma, this is not enough. On Friday, March 15, 2025, Amnesty International condemned the killing, demanding a full, impartial, and independent investigation. The officers responsible must be prosecuted in a transparent and public trial, the human rights organization stated. Activists, community leaders, and international observers have joined the call for justice. But will justice actually be served? Will this case follow the unfortunate pattern of many others, overlooked, disregarded, buried in bureaucracy? Or can Chinedu Abimbor's name be the one that finally sparks the change we need? This is not an isolated issue. While it's important to acknowledge the challenges faced by law enforcement, there are situations where misunderstandings arise. Dreadlocks, driving a nice car, using an iPhone, dressing well, these shouldn't automatically make someone a suspect. Young men are often caught in the crossfire of these assumptions, and unfortunately, Chinedu was not the first to fall victim. We must urge citizens to always cooperate during police searches to avoid any confusion or escalation. At the same time, it's important for the police to remember that non-armed citizens should never face violence. There is no need for extreme force when there is no threat. How many more families will be forced to endure the pain of losing loved ones in these tragic circumstances? Enough is enough. Justice for Chinedu. Let the fight for accountability continue. We call on both the police and the public to take responsibility and work together to ensure safety for everyone. We demand an end to unnecessary violence and for the respect of citizens' rights. The people are watching, and we stand united for change.